students. I hope all are safe in this environment of uncertainty. Stay safe, obey your parents, and start to study because you are in 10th ICSE. Today I am going to teach 10th standard ICSE biology. Next lesson, photosynthesis. Before that, we learn transpiration. Important lesson. I expect to ask lot of questions in your public exam. And next, one more important botany lesson is called photosynthesis. You know, photosynthesis. Photo means light. Synthesis means production. Light produce in front of sunlight. Plants produce some production or called food production. We go to in our topic. Photosynthesis. First definition. Photosynthesis is the process by which living plant cell containing chlorophyll produce food substance from carbon dioxide and water by using light energy. So, during photosynthesis, plants require some raw materials such as carbon dioxide, water, light energy. Okay. Then chlorophyll pigments. Four important raw material require all the plants are called chlorophyll, carbon dioxide, water, and light energy. So these are the comes under non-living object, and chlorophyll presence in living object. Then synthesis, food in the form of an glucose or starch. Importance of photosynthesis, food for all, because in all the plants completing photosynthesis and fulfill demands of food of in all living organism such as small microbes to higher organism. Requirements of food provide with the help of all the plants completing photosynthesis. That's why food for all. Photosynthesis is ultimately the source of energy and food for all living being directly or indirectly. What is directly? For example, if you take human being, humans are going to consuming plants directly, and indirectly means the plants are going to eaten with the help of some group of an organism. That organism muscle we are going to use directly. For example, some cattle animal going to use for here who eat plants for the plant eating animal. So that animal we are getting some product or called indirectly. So food for all, organism consume plants directly or indirectly because plants already completed photosynthesis. Oxygen to breathe in, not only for food and also liberated enough amount of noxygen. So this oxygen will be fulfilled and balancing carbon dioxide and oxygen level. Oxygen is also important tool for breathing compound. Okay, so this breathing gas we require oxygen. This oxygen provided with the help of plants during photosynthesis. It is a biological process which release oxygen in the atmosphere. So raw material are called chlorophyll, carbon dioxide, water, and light energy. Byproduct are called food and oxygen and also water. Structure of chloroplast, because this events completed with the help of chloroplast. Chloroplast we know for here. Plants consist of three kinds of plastids are called chloroplast, chromoplast, leucoplast. Chloroplast are green colored pigment. Chromoplast are called colorful pigments, or such as if you see the fruits and flower with a lot of color, because that color produced with the help of a kind of plastids are called chromoplast. Leucoplast presence in all that anatomy of plant stems and root. Colorless plast is very good role for a store reserve product. If you see the structure of a chloroplast, chloroplasts are minute oval bodies bounded by a double membrane, outer membrane and inner membrane. So it's a membrane bound organelle presence in all the plants. Inside contain closely packed flattened sac called thylakoids. Here there are a lot of which one coins like part. So every coins are called thylakoid. And this thylakoid arranged piles of coins. One group is come for here grana. So thylakoid and granum is very, very important. A colorless ground substance called a stroma. Then inside presence of a kind of a liquid is called a stroma. Stroma, they are usually colorless. So stroma, grana, thylakoid is important. Then boundary with the two membrane, outer membrane and inner membrane. There may be 40 to 50 chloroplasts in a cell. Every cells of plants are consisting of 40 to minimum 40 and maximum 50 chloroplasts in a cell. The pigments chlorophyll is contained in the walls of thylakoid. Okay, so the pigments are available. The chlorophyll pigments present the walls of thylakoid. What is thylakoid? Every piles or coins, every coins, entire coins together are called the grana or granum. Then chloroplasts composed of some chemical compounds such as carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and magnesium. Magnesium is very, very important. Sometimes ask one more question. Structural components of chloroplast is dash chemical is called magnesium. Fill in the blanks. Multiple choice. Suppose expect to ask important compounds of magnesium. Magnesium role for here development of chloroplast. There may be more than 5 lakhs chloroplasts per square millimeter of leaf surface. Every leaf surface presence of an 5 lakh per, chloroplast presence in per square millimeter of leaf surface. Next, regulation of stomatal opening. Now we gave for one picture. I gave for one picture how stomata open and close. The time of an opening just can absorbing carbon dioxide and release out oxygen and water during photosynthesis. During respiration, during photosynthesis respiration, absorb because requirements of photosynthesis. Stomata are minute opening occurring in the lower surface of the leaf because a leaf consists of a mesophyll. Mesophyll means cortex of the leaf is called mesophyll. Mesophyll consists of two important tissue are called palisade parenchyma and spongy parenchyma. Okay, so this spongy parenchyma located under surface of the leaf consists of a lot of small opening are called stomata. So this stomata will be regulated uh, flow of an gases. The main functions of the stomata is to let in carbon dioxide from the atmosphere for photosynthesis. So during photosynthesis, all the plants are absorbing enough amount of carbon dioxide during photosynthesis during daytime, and whenever again open after entering carbon dioxide, immediately stomata just leave it out enough amount of an oxygen and water because produced during photosynthesis. Transpiration occurs along with the photosynthesis. Okay, so what is transpiration? We learned already last class, last few session, loss of water in the form of water vapor. The closing and opening of the stomata are on account of the movements of water in and out. Okay, so closing, opening of stomata depends upon content of water. More water, more oxygen, more carbon dioxide is available. The stomata will be a complete mechanism and peak level of stomatal mechanism. Opening and closing stomata due to sugar concentration. One more reason, sugar concentration and potassium ion concentration, because they are make them for your two theory are called sugar concentration and potassium concentration theory. Usually chloroplast consist of chlorophyll. Chlorophyll they have different types, chlorophyll A to chlorophyll E. Chlorophyll A are called major pigments, chlorophyll B to chlorophyll E are called accessory pigments. Okay, then too much of light destroy chlorophyll. At that same time, those plants live in shady places completely remove chloroplast, and very high intensity of light also destroy chlorophyll will be which one faded color. Some of the plants we see that some of the plants is very hot sunny areas, presence of those plants leaf is faded because of too much of light destroy chlorophyll pigments, as well as those plants presence in shaded places. Okay, under the trees some of the herbaceous plants faded, and again some color will be appear, yellowish color because of do not develop proper chloroplast. Sorry, as chlorophyll pigments. Then sugar concentration theory is an old theory. In ancient scientists just explained sugar concentration theory. The Gauss cell begins photosynthesis and the sugar produced during the increasing of an osmotic pressure. Whenever osmotic pressure increases, because of an sugar produce more and it will be open the stomata. The Gauss cell become turgid and bulge outward. Okay, so during photosynthesis, produce more amount of sugar, and those sugar entry of a Gauss cell with the help of osmotic pressure immediately that the Gauss cell will be turgid. Turgid means swells up. The diffusion of gases in and out. So this is one of the simple process. Okay, so during photosynthesis, plants are prepare enough amount of sugar, and this sugar entry of a Gauss cell with the help of osmotic pressure, the cell will be turgid. Which cell? Gauss cell will be turgid immediately, or stomata will be open and in and out of gases such as carbon dioxide, oxygen. Next, potassium ion concentration theory. Two theories and a recent theory. Okay, modern scientists discovered which one? Potassium ion, K plus ion concentration theory. So here we know for here water K plus ion is available inside, and coming out water will be enter inside, and H plus moving out because of an organic acid made up of malic acid. Some theory will be explained. Then for here mechanism of stomatal opening. The stomatal opening and closing depends on the generation of an potassium ion gradients. Okay, stomata open and close. The mechanism happening in all the plants leaf depends on the generation of an potassium ion gradients. During daytime, the chloroplasts in the Gauss cell photosynthesis which lead to the production of an ATP. So during daytime, the chloroplasts involve photosynthesis and production of enough amount of an energy. Okay, so this energy currency is called ATP, adenosine triphosphate. So this phosphate requirements of this mechanism. Gauss cell whenever is open during photosynthesis or transpiration or respiration, requirements of energy, this energy provide with the help of photosynthesis. Okay, ATP pump the potassium ion of the adjacent cell into the Gauss cell. Okay, so ATP requirements of closing and opening of stomata in all the process. ATPs whenever is accumulate more in Gauss cell and subsidiary cell. This is called a subsidiary cell. Okay, what is subsidiary cell? The Gauss cell around it some number of an same shape of bean shaped structure is called a subsidiary cell will be pump ATP, and immediately the potassium ion of the adjacent cell into the Gauss cell. So this subsidiary cell just exchange K plus ion and removing H plus ion will be entering one exchange happen for here. Entry of K plus ion inside the Gauss cell, and Gauss cell provide H plus ion outside the subsidiary cell. This exchange happen for here, and Gauss cell make them to hypertonic. What is hypertonic? Hyper means more concentration of K plus ion. Okay, H plus ion is moving outside and K plus ion will be accumulate more inside. Here the Gauss cell have very high concentration of K plus ion or potassium ion, immediately hypertonic condition. More water from the adjacent cell is drawn in, and the cell become turgid and more move outward to open out the stomatal pore. So now what happened for here? The K plus ion whenever is accumulate more, very high concentration absorb enough amount of water. Water is moving subsidiary cell to inside. So here happen for here a very high concentration of an K plus ion as well as enough amount of water. Stomata try to open. Okay, so this cell will be turgid means to swells up, and immediately the pore will be open. Reverse reactions happening at night. During night what happened for here? H plus and just moves goes for here normally enter inside that subsidiary cell, and K plus N just release out, just move in which one, sorry, H plus ion entry of an core cell, K plus just return back in a subsidiary cell. What happened for here, the stomata will be fluxed nature, do not touch it, flux it, stomata will be closed during night because without light. Then process of photosynthesis, here role for here one reaction, okay, it's an overall reaction of photosynthesis. Raw material, I already explained for here, raw materials of photons are called carbon dioxide, water, sunlight and chlorophyll. It's a raw material. Byproduct are called glucose or sugars, water and oxygen. Okay, as we saw already a kind of an stomatal opening and closing, absorbing carbon dioxide, water is already available in all the plants, then which one absorb sunlight, in front of chlorophyll pigments, preparing food in the form of sugar, release out water and releasing oxygen, because this oxygen requirements of in atmosphere for respiratory purpose of in all living organism, even including plants also. Then this sugar is using for here food for all. Already learned food for all and using releasing oxygen during photosynthesis. Mesophyll cell. What is mesophyll? Cortex of leaf is called a mesophyll. Okay. So mesophyll means if you see the leaf consists of an dorsal and ventral surface, upper epidermis, lower epidermis, in between presence of a mesophyll tissue, greenery part of in all the plants leaf. Mesophyll commonly called a cortex of leaf. Very, very important. Sometimes asked, what is mesophyll? Cortex of leaf is called a mesophyll. Mesophyll cell, what are they? Palisade parenchyma, spongy parenchyma. Two parenchyma made up of a mesophyll cell in a leaf or the principal center of this activity. What activity? Photosynthesis. When sunlight falls on the leaf, the light energy is trapped by chlorophyll. We saw already chlorophyll, a kind of a pigment's presence in the surface of a thylakoid, and this chlorophyll, a primary pigments or universal pigments, very good role for here, which one trapping light and doing for photosynthesis. The energy is utilized during this process, requirements of energy. What energy? In the form of ATP. Okay, so the energy is utilized in chemical process involved in a manufacture of food. So at the time of an synthesis of food or manufacture of an food or photosynthesis, requirements of energy. This energy provided with the help of ATP through by mitochondria. Then important compounds of an photos are carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide enter the leaf by diffusion down a concentration gradients. What is concentration gradient? Outside atmospheric level available more carbon dioxide, but the plant cell less amount of carbon dioxide, and again happen for diffusion. What is diffusion? Movements of molecules from a region of higher concentration to lower concentration. So this diffusion outside carbon dioxide level is very high, and plant cell less amount of carbon dioxide, just easy to move. It's a simple process, passive absorption like. Then water also just entry of an concentration gradients. Plant cell less amount of water, but soil micelle available more water, easy to move. So water from the soil is taken up by roots and up through the stem and finally to the leaves mesophyll tissue. So this water entry of roots to mesophyll tissue, and during photosynthesis fraction of light required because the process of photolysis. Okay, I'll explain photolysis. The glucose molecule is a simple sugar readily soluble in water. So this glucose already we know glucose is a compound, is a simple sugar easy to soluble in water. The 6 molecules of water is liberated at the end of the process. Okay, so 6 moles of moles of carbon dioxide, 12 moles of water, and production of sugar or glucose formula. Glucose formula is 6H12O6 plus release out 6 moles of water, 6 moles of oxygen comes out. This is a byproduct. This is called a byproduct. This is called a raw material. Okay, what is raw material? Requirements of photosynthesis. Some metals require, some gases require, light is required, chlorophyll is come for here, raw material. byproducts. Then light, two important phases happen for plants are called light dependent phase and light independent phase. Light dependent phase is called a photochemical reaction or light reaction, and light independent phase is called a dark reaction or night reaction. They are here given for some process called glycolysis, oxidation of pyruvic acid, Krebs cycle, and ETC, electron transport chain. So first process called light dependent phase or photochemical reaction. This is happened during daytime. Okay, light reaction or photochemical reaction or light dependent reaction during daytime. In front of sunlight, these reactions happen. Then after complete light reaction, the plants produce enough amount of an NADPH2 as well as ATP. Okay, this comes for light generated energy utilizing during night or light independent reaction. Plants prepare enough amount of glucose. Sunlight play the key role of photosynthesis. Chemical reactions occurs in very quick succession initiated by light. Okay, so chemical reaction means lot of chemical events happen with the help of an enzyme. Okay, so this enzymatic reaction, chemical reactions occurs is in very quick succession initiated by light. This phase is also called a photochemical phase. What is photo? Photo means light, and light induced reaction or chemical reaction. It take place in thylakoid because this photochemical reaction or light dependent reaction or light reactions happening thylakoids. Then activation of chlorophyll, because thylakoid consists of an chlorophyll pigments. Chlorophyll A is an universal pigments. Chlorophyll B2, chlorophyll E up to E. Chlorophyll B, chlorophyll C, chlorophyll D, and chlorophyll E are comes under accessory pigments or minor pigments. Okay, so that pigments requirements is very low but is essential. Okay, but chlorophyll A is very important, essential for all the plants. Without chlorophyll A, the plants unable to involve photosynthesis. So activation of chlorophyll, the exposure of light energy become activated by absorbing photon. Photon is a smallest unit of light energy. Okay, so photon means sometimes ask what is photon? What is photon? Photon is the smallest unit of light energy produced with the help of sunlight. This given for here one of the process called photolysis. Okay, two molecules of water split up, light split of water to form proton and electron. Splitting of water, light break of water. Okay, so here is happen for here because this process happening in chloroplast. Sunlight break of water to form proton, electron, and oxygen. Okay, the process called photolysis. Very important. Define photolysis. Define photon. What is photon? Photon is the smallest unit of light energy. Okay, because this light energy will be involving and absorb more in all the plants and completing photolysis. What is photolysis? Light breakup. What light is? Sunlight. Okay, it's a natural light happening presence in our atmosphere. So this sunlight break of water to form proton, electron, and oxygen, and releasing water are called photolysis. Okay, proton, electron, and oxygen, releasing water called photolysis, and end result of product of photolysis. So here it will come for is not a water, come for here oxygen. Okay, this one small mistake committed here. Uh, uh, Photolysis, break of water, light break of water to form proton, electron, and oxygen, but not water. A small mistake. Water just corrected for here oxygen. Okay, releasing oxygen. The process called photolysis. End result of the product of photolysis. Number one, the hydrogen ion are picked up by NADP to form NADPH. What is NADP? Nicotinamide, adenine, dinucleotide, phosphorus, and reduced to form, and it is reduced to phosphorylations happen for here NADPH because this high salinity produced during photolysis pick up with the help of NADP is available chloroplast. Okay, so this NADP a kind of an reductase reduced to form NADPH. What is NADP? NADPH nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide phosphate, and sometimes as any abbreviative words are called ATP, NADP, NADPH, and FADH2. A lot of terms we have for you. Please more concentrated. Second process, the oxygen O components is given out as molecular oxygen O2. Okay, it's an composed form. O2 produces oxygen. Is very important product of an photolysis. Then third, the electrons are used in converting the ADP to ATP. What is ADP? Adenosine diphosphate, adenosine triphosphate. By adding one phosphate group, this process is called phosphorylation. So what is phosphorylation? ADP converted to ATP. Adenosine diphosphate converted to adenosine triphosphate is energy currency. So this energy currency requirements of all the plants providing energy. So the process called for phosphorylation. What is phosphorylation? ADP converted to ATP. ATP the process called phosphorylation. Otherwise, the ADP to ATP by adding one phosphate group, this process called phosphorylation. Thus, the process comes from light termed as photosynthesis, because this process happening with the help of sunlight are called photophosphorylation. ADP plus phosphate converted to ATP. Next, light independent or dark reaction. Let's say for here two reactions one given for here, light dependent reaction and production of an NADP. NADP H and conversion of an glucose, okay, and also production of an ATP, okay, ADP phosphate or phosphorylation, photophosphorylation is happening, production of it. So this ATP and NADP utilize in all the plants production of an glucose and starch. No requirements of the process of photolase happen for a light break of water to form proton, electron and oxygen. Okay, so oxygen is given out, go to for atmosphere, but this hydrogen electrons using for here the process of dark reaction, because this come for here a light generate energy are called NADPH and ATP. Both are entry of dark reaction. What is dark reaction? Light independent reactions occurs in other parts stroma of chloroplast. Okay, then during night with the help of carbon dioxide and this energy production of glucose. The glucose converted into starch. Okay, glucose formula C6H12O6. The reaction in this phase do not require light energy. So this dark reactions happening after sunset, during night in all the plants. Now is during night, that night time, all the plants are very busy to production of an glucose or utilizing NADPH and ATP using carbon dioxide. Okay, that's why during night no one to sleep under the tree, because the plants are around us. All the plants just can available more amount of carbon dioxide, but during daytimes we will sleep under the tree, but during night no one to sleep under the tree, because the carbon dioxide level is more in during night. The people suppose cause some problem, because plants going to completing for dark reaction or light independent reaction utilizing carbon dioxide with the help of an NADPH and ATP and oxygen and proton, and plants are preparing glucose. Conversion of glucose into starch and other chemicals. Several glucose molecules are transformed to produce one molecule of starch. It is called polymerization. What is poly means many. Okay, group of glucose joined together and to formation of an starch. The starch is called the process called polymerization. So polymerization chain reactions happening for here in all the plants and animal, because a group of glucose compound joined together to form a starch, and this starch, like the starch, a good example for here is available the plants plant the rice seed, presence of enough amount of starch in the form of carbohydrate. Okay, so this starch combination of group of glucose, the process called polymerization. So this polymerization produces or developed with the help of light dependent reaction and light independent reaction or dark reaction. Next, adaptation in leaf for photosynthesis. The leaf will be adapted, some part of a leaf responsible or supposed to avoid photosynthesis, mostly is some adaptation. Large surface area, because leaf is the requirements of a vast area. Example for large surface area, good example for here banana tree, banana plants leaf, because we are using for dyeing the table. It's a large surface area. Those group of plants leaf happening for a maximum light absorption. Okay, just compare with banana leaf and small leaf, some pinus plant, even nerium plant. Okay, the nerium plant, or suppose in our plants, in our home we have a rose plant. Just compare with the banana leaf and a rose plant's leaf, have lot of variation. Okay, so large surface area for maximum light absorption, small surface area minimum light absorption. Then leaf arrangements, okay, at the right angle to the light source to obtain maximum light. Normal leaf will be arranged zigzag manner. Okay, suppose if not arranged properly zigzagly, and the first leaf to trap more sunlight, and next down leaf unable to get enough amount of sunlight, the plant's failure of photosynthesis. One leaf arrangement is also important events of photosynthesis. Cuticle and upper epidermis. Normally, cuticle of an upper epidermis more thickness in those plants lives in deserty plant, desert or xerophyte habitat, or transparent and waterproof of allow light to enter freely. Okay, so this cuticle and upper epidermis also important adaptation or transparency condition. Okay, transparency is easy to absorb light and waterproof to allow light to enter freely. Number 4, numerous stomata. Okay, so the stomata also one of the major adaptation in leaf for photosynthesis. Most stomata, presence of those large surfaces present more stomata, and this stomata number is more, allows rapid exchange of gases. Okay, safe of large size, more number, and what happen? Rapid exchange happen for a gas exchange rapidly or immediately, and absorb more amount of carbon dioxide, release out oxygen and water. Then the thinness of leaf. Some of the leaves is so thin, very nice and very, so easy to fragile, easy to break up. It reduces the distance between cells, facilitating rapid transport. Okay, so thinness of the leaf reduce the distance between cell, uh, facilitating rapid transport. The chloroplast. Next is very important, chloroplast. Number of chloroplast, shape of chloroplast, size of chloroplast important. So the chloroplast or concentration in the upper layer of the leaf to obtain light energy quickly, because chloroplast always presents beneath the layer of an upper epidermis, presence of palisade parenchyma. So that palisade parenchyma presents enough chloroplast, and this chloroplast more concentrated in the upper layer of the leaf to obtain light energy quickly. Then extensive vein system. What is vein? Made up of xylem and phloem. Vein is made up of xylem and phloem conducting elements. If you know, if you see the leaf consists of an lamina. At the lamina, two sides will be divided with the help of one of the midrib. Okay, so this midrib is made up of a vein. Okay, extensive vein system for rapid transport to and from the mesophil cell. Okay, because for rapid transport to end. Okay, to and from the mesophil cell, transport more material. The plants completing photosynthesis is a major adaptive organs. The end product of photosynthesis, Glucose, already explained you, glucose, water and oxygen is an end product of photosynthesis. It's usually leaving out, okay, send out some product during photosynthesis called end product. Glucose immediately consumed by the plant cell, store in the form of insoluble starch. Okay, so glucose during photosynthesis, the end product called the first end product called glucose is an energetic compounds. It is converted to starch because this starch store those place of an storage cell, store in the form of an insoluble starch, convert into sucrose used in synthesizing fat, proteins, etc. Okay, so this starch convert into sucrose. Okay, just combination, polymerization chains reactions happening for here and development of a sucrose and use in this synthesizing fat, protein, etc. Next is called water. Second end product are called water. Water produced in the process may be reutilized in the continuance of photosynthesis because water is just leave it out some amount of water vapor during transpiration. During photosynthesis also just release some water, but some water just stay back inside, will be reutilized. Next process of photosynthesis is called continuation of photosynthesis depends upon larger surface area, more chloroplast, and continue for photosynthesis. The same water will be reutilized. Continuation. Then oxygen, very very important gas are called oxygen because it's one of the respiratory gas of in all living creatures. One-celled organism to multicellular organism, a huge gigantic organism requirements of oxygen. It's one of respiratory gas. Okay, so this gas produced during photosynthesis. The oxygen may be used in respiration in the leaf cell. Even plants also using respiration. During respiration of plants, breathe in oxygen, breathe out carbon dioxide. During photosynthesis in all the plants, photosynthetic respiration or photo respiration, commonly called photo respiration, at that time inspire carbon dioxide and expire oxygen. Okay, so sometimes as photo respiration, normal respiration. Okay, so the oxygen may be used in respiration in the leaf cell. For the major portions is diffuse out into the atmosphere through the stomata. Okay, the stomata is a major part, will be absorbing oxygen, relieving oxygen during respiration and photosynthesis. Oxygen is not wasted because all organisms record it. So this plant send out oxygen is not a waste material. It is using for here in our purpose because we require oxygen. Animals require oxygen. Gigantic organisms require oxygen. Unicellular creates require oxygen. That's why oxygen is not waste. Produced with the help of plant because all organisms require oxygen, the purpose of respiration. Food manufactured in the leaves is required for use by all other parts of the plants. Okay, the food manufactured in the leaf prepared food is required for use by all other parts of the plants. The glucose is formed in the leaves very rapidly during photosynthesis and it cannot be transported. Okay, so glucose is formed in the leaf during photosynthesis very rapidly during photosynthesis and it is cannot be transported immediately. It is converted into insoluble starch for temporary storage in the leaves. Okay, it's temporarily stored in all the plant leaves in the form of a starchy compound. At night the starch is reconverted into soluble sugar which is transported in solution through the vein down through the phloem of the stem. Okay, so during photosynthesis end product produce glucose is converted to starch and this starch during night reconverted into soluble sugar. What is soluble? Easy to absorb because require in all the plants also require energy used in the soluble sugar. Suppose available excess amount store in the form of sucrose or starch or any compound transported in solution through the vein down through the phloem of the stem. Okay, so that's all today topic. I hope all are understood today topic and study well. And within short of time I will announce some test portions of you, and please see your WhatsApp message. I will send sometime. Please respond immediately whenever I will giving a message, and I will conduct a test. Please attend, all the students, all the boys, all the girls have attend the ICSE. And before writing test, any type of test I will conduct you, sit and prepare. Okay, so this PPT format enough for you. This PPT format also copy down in your class notebook and maintain for your classwork is very important, and try to draw all the diagram. Okay, and note down this points for here for in our classwork notebook. And I will ask to just show the notebook whenever suppose are possible. And uh, try to score very good mark to sit and prepare before I am announcing an exam. Okay, daily today just see the videos in all the slides, watch it and hear in my audio and video. If have any doubts, please phone to immediately. Okay, during daytimes phone to me, and can or just can avoid your confusion. Okay, thank you.